All right, let's call the meeting to order. The first order of business is to select a chairperson.
Okay, chairperson. So we now know who it is. I nominate Don Dutton.
I second that.
I make a motion that the nominations be closed.
Second that.
All in favor?
I don't know. There's no chairman, so can I say all in favor?
I'll say it. All in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Don.
All right.
Congratulations, Don.
Congratulations, Don. Yay.
So Madam Chairperson, we would like to talk about goals for the year.
Okay. Then I think that we should, I'm willing to accept a motion to talk about
Goals?
goals for the year.
Madam Chairman, I move that we discuss our goals for the upcoming year.
I second that.
All right.
Discussion?
Oh boy, Dawn, you're gonna find out these guys are the wild crew here.
I know, I'm excited about this one. This group
Has to be a roll call vote because it's video.
Yes, you're
That's
right. It
right.
does have to be a roll call vote.
So Dawn, what you should do is call them because they can't see each other in the same order.
Okay. All right. So, Pete,
Aye.
Larry.
He called me Pete.
I know, it was weird.
Mr. B.
Yes.
And Dawn, I.
So in terms of this committee, typically I do the majority of the personnel work for the district. There is one thing that we should probably talk about as a team and bring some recommendations to the board this year. One goal that I would set is to have the personnel committee review the class sizes and enrollments for the district in light of the budget process, and work with me to kind of talk with the principals about what the direction's going to be. So I think it's important for you to know that it's hard to set committee goals when we don't have the board goals yet.
Right.
But I know from conversations that it's highly likely that we're going to end up working a lot this year on a strategic plan. And the strategic planning process, the way I would run it and the way I plan to run it is I'm going to develop the core document with the administrators. That'll be their input. Then I'll bring it to the board. The board would go over the strategic plan, and then we present it to the teachers and the public for a round of input. And then the board considers that input and makes a decision, because you always do better when you give people something to respond to. It doesn't mean that it might not even look the same in the end. That's fine with me. It doesn't, there's no control here except to just help people to frame the conversation step by step. So this is the part of the strategic plan about academics. This is the part about budget. This is the part about the facilities, right? And within that strategic plan, there'll be a personnel plan. And I would like this committee to just, that's the work of this committee, is to shepherd that.
Can I ask one question first?
Sure, Peter.
You said you think class size is this committee. Am I correct?
Well, any personnel plan would have a component of student enrollments and class size, because your personnel.
I misunderstood what you meant.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying the personnel committee determines class size.
No,
I didn't think that was right. Okay.
No, that's right, Peter. I might not have said it clearly.
Right.
There's a correlation between our staffing levels and the enrollments.
Right.
Which then splays out.
I get. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So
how do you want to come up with a draft and present it to us?
Yes, that's what I think is, as we get closer to the budget process, I'll bring you a draft of what I'm thinking for staffing and enrollments. But we also need to be crafting what we think should be language for the potential strategic plan, because I do think that administration needs some guidance from the community and the board about what are acceptable class sizes in the future.
Okay, all right.
Right? And so I thought this was a logical place for me to talk to you. And, that affects everything. The number of students affect administrators. It affects guidance. It affects art, music, phys ed. It's really more about the relationship of staffing and enrollment. And so I was hoping that this committee would bring that information to the board after reviewing it.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay with that.
Is that finish that subject?
Yes, if it does, if you guys are gonna, if you're comfortable adopting a goal of making staffing recommendations for the strategic plan, would someone like to make a motion and second and vote?
Go ahead, Larry. You always make the motions.
So moved.
Second.
There's no way I was going to repeat all that.
Okay.
I'm trying to write it down. Good luck.
Don't worry, it's all on YouTube, Dawn. If you need to rewatch it, you can
I'm
just.
gonna have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
There's an envelope on the table.
Did we get a second on that?
Tell
Did you
Peter.
second that?
Yeah, I seconded it.
Okay. All right, roll,
Yep.
we already had discussion, so roll call vote.
Larry?
Yeah, Larry,
Yes.
Mr. B,
Yes.
and myself, I'm yes.
Great.
Okay, one of the things I'd like to talk about quickly, I had to put together as the town health officer, different strategies for opening the town hall. And one of the things, if my wife can find the envelope on the kitchen table, one of the things on the list, no, a manila envelope, Maria, I'm sorry, is employee absences and employee loss because of coronavirus. Who's going to take whose position? I don't know how you want to handle that, Tom, or you would think about it, but I think we need to maybe get ahead of, for example, if I was still teaching and they opened the school, I would have a tough decision to make as far as, do I continue teaching? At my age, given my heart attack, given my diabetes, given whatever. So I think we ought to, well, probably you want to come up with some sort of a plan. I can send you the whole thing I have on opening the town hall, well, actually municipal building. But one of the things that in doing my research with CDC and the insurance carrier and all that stuff was the possibility of losing employees or employees being sick for a long period of time. I just wanted to pass it on to you as a personnel committee type thing. And we can talk about it if you want, or I can send you what I have and you can cherry pick what you think is appropriate for you.
Yeah, please scan it and send it to Matt and I.
Yeah, actually it's on a, we can just take it off my disk, right?
We're already dealing
Okay.
with some issues of people that have had contact or illnesses or they've taken the Corona FMLA. It hasn't been severe, but there have been a few situations that Diana Rooney has already worked on.
Yeah.
And Pete, I would just say that concern is a legitimate concern that we are weighing in the host of many issues that I'm concerned about with opening school in the fall.
Yeah. I mean, there's also on a personnel issue situation, because we ran into the town hall. The law now says if you've got the coronavirus, it's not your sick days being used.
Right.
So you might want to make an addendum to your personnel policy as far as sick time, because that's something I brought up. That's in the list, by the way. But,
Diana Rooney's already done that. That's already taken care of. But it's always good to cross-reference. Diana Rooney has been right on top of this, Pete. She's done a great job, the HR person. But she look, any additional information can't hurt, right? It's good to look at it. And I think that if you forward it to Matt and I'll send it on to her too.
Now, does the school have Primex?
Yes.
Okay, because I got a thing from Primex and I incorporated it as well. There's 47 different things. Just pick out what you think is appropriate for the school.
Great. Thank you very much. Everything that we can, I downloaded the plan from Goffstown the other day and sent it to the administrators and said, look this over and think about it. We're going to have a big meeting tomorrow as an administrative team.
Yeah. And
I'll be giving the board an update on reopening and plans for reopening and staffing and all that, which is a personnel issue. Right. More in June. Really, sincerely, I told the administrators and the teachers, I need you to focus on June 5th. Get through June 5th, and then we'll figure out from there. I just can't. They are so truly, totally overwhelmed. And so I didn't want to burden them. Some school districts have had committees for reopening or task force. And I said, for me, this is simple. Either people are ill and we can't have school, or people are okay and we can have school. If school's open, then we deal with the fine print, so to speak, as you just discussed, Peter. If school is remote, then we're still dealing with those same issues remote. We've had some people have some really serious situations come up on the personnel side, but my response to everyone is just let's get through the end of this year, get the students wrapped up, get everything done, and then we're going to tackle for next year the following couple of days. I mean, we're already beginning, but I'm just not sharing anything publicly because I don't want people to worry.
Well, that's, yeah.
Yeah, we sent a large survey out today to all the parents about remote learning. That's one of those first steps.
Okay, I'm done.
No, that's great. Thank you, Pete. I really appreciate the extra information. If you guys are good, I'm good.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
As
Okay.
chairman, you can just say meeting is adjourned.
All right, if everybody's good. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I don't know who's on the 4 o'clock call, but I'll be here until 8:30. So I'll see you later.
All
I
right,
will see you
meeting
at
adjourned.